You are a pretty lady. You get tired of people talking about your looks and how stunning you are all the time? I mean, it can get to be, you know. I mean, I don't. I mean, when people tell me.
Johnny Carson sat across from some of the most famous women in Hollywood, but a few were so striking that even Carson seemed caught off guard. These are the 9 most beautiful guests ever to appear on Johnny Carson. Doris Day, the timeless favorite.
I was about to say that Doris Day had never been on The Tonight Show, which is not true. She was on before, but this is the first time I've had a chance to welcome her to the show. I've been a fan of hers ever since I first heard her first record she ever made come out. And she's probably the best-known and one of the best-known entertainers in the entire world through.
Her first appearance came on September 2nd, 1974, and it felt less like a regular interview and more like a major television event. She spoke about leaving the spotlight behind and how her love of animals gave her something more meaningful than Hollywood glamour.
When we had dinner together a couple of weeks ago, you told me that you didn't like to sing anymore, or you got nervous.
To sing.
But I mean, in public.
No,
I told you if you came on the show, I wouldn't do that phony business about pushing you over there and making you kind of ad-lib the song. But you said that you love to sing, but because you did the show where you weren't singing in the show.
That's right.
And it's been in a time since you've sang, since you have sung.
I'm rusty, John. And but I'm going to start singing again because I really love it.
Yeah, well, you're such a great singer.
Thank you.
Day had a warmth that made her classic movie star image feel inviting rather than distant. Carson approached the interview like it was a major television moment. He once said that Doris carried the elegance of old Hollywood, but with such an easygoing presence that sitting across from her felt completely natural. Angie Dickinson, the effortless beauty.
Yes, even last night in the lobby coming in to the plaza, somebody said, "Is there something going on between you and Johnny?" I said, "Wouldn't you love to know?" Now, he's terrific. I don't do that on purpose. We just both seem to get devilish when we get on the air. We don't even discuss it, but I do have fun with him.
She brought a polished Hollywood glamour with a calm confidence and steady eye contact that didn't need any gimmicks to make an impression. Johnny once told friends that Dickinson carried herself with such sophistication that she could have fit perfectly into any era of show business. During the interview, Carson even slipped into playful card tricks, partly because her relaxed presence made the whole exchange feel effortless.
I don't know how we got in this. Put them aside over there.
You want to play a little?
Women are... I never play cards with women. Women always say, "What are these two ones with wearing the crowns?" Yeah, you ever sit down and play poker with women, you explain, and all of a sudden you get killed.
You mean to tell me that people play with you? Play cards, poker with you?
You know, I didn't play in the service. When I was in the Navy, I was doing magic, entertaining, and when people see you do that, I didn't like to play because even if you won legitimately, people would think you cheated. So I really never played much in the service.
But how about now? Do you play?
I play with friends, yeah.
Yeah, they know you don't.
But they know, of course not. Not for that.
I love poker.
Do you really? Are you
Yes.
a good player?
No, but I love it. I really do. I play every hand. That's why I'm not good.
Well, you can't do that.
I know.
It's like Kenny Rogers says in the song, you gotta know when to fold them.
Dickinson had a natural elegance that made the interview feel effortless rather than staged. She came across as sophisticated but still approachable, which made Carson noticeably more comfortable. Bo Derek, the cultural phenomenon.
Isn't that disgusting behavior? Yeah. Did you hear that? One guy yells out, "I love you." He doesn't even know you.
Nope.
Yeah, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah. You are a pretty lady. You get tired of people talking about your looks and how stunning you are all the time? I mean, it can get to be, you know. I mean, I don't. I mean, when people tell me.
She came on with the glow of a brand new superstar. Quiet in the way she spoke, but clearly confident, completely at ease in front of the cameras. Carson joked to his producers that Bo looked like the very image late 1970s culture had become fascinated with, and she carried herself like someone who knew exactly how much attention she was getting. Before she even said a word, the audience already connected her with one of the biggest pop culture moments of the era. Bo sat comfortably in that spotlight while Carson steered the conversation around her.
I haven't, I read the script of 10. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen the picture yet. I've only seen excerpts from it. And, I've talked to thousands of people over the years, and all of a sudden I feel uncomfortable, and I don't know why. Can I get in the chair with you?
Her image defined an era, and the confidence she showed on camera matched exactly what audiences expected from her. Raquel Welch, the self-aware icon.
Hello.
You look like you're entered in the cheer whiteness test.
This dress is much whiter than dress B.
Remember those?
What?
Last time you came here, you had a mini skirt. I remember that was the end to all mini skirts, and tonight almost a complete turnabout.
Yes, that's not significant in any way.
It isn't at
No.
all? That's very pretty.
No, I just came from Dallas, and this was the dress I had with me for the premiere. And I really didn't know I was going to do your show because I didn't know if I'd have time before I fled off to London. But I wouldn't leave the country again without saying goodbye to you.
I know you wouldn't. Every time she leaves the country, she comes back here. Says goodbye to you.
Part of what made her so compelling during the Carson years was the way she spoke openly about being treated as a symbol, while still sounding sharp, funny, and fully in command of the conversation. She carried herself like someone who understood all eyes were on her, but she never seemed nervous or overly polished. That mix of glamour and playful confidence made her impossible to ignore on the couch. People remember her not just because she looked like a movie star, but because she spoke like someone who could handle anything thrown at her. Carson always seemed more at ease around her because Welch could match his style and keep the conversation moving. Her humor caught audiences off guard, especially those expecting her to rely only on looks. She also made sure to shape the conversation around her image herself instead of letting anyone else do it for her. Sophia Loren, the warm presence.
My first guest, I only met briefly to say hello backstage. She is a lovely lady and a fine artist, has made some remarkable motion pictures. She's also written a very revealing book about her life. I think it's just coming out very soon, if it's not released already. It's written by her and A.E. Hotchner, called Sophia, Living and Loving. And it's a great kick to welcome her.
She had a rare combination of warmth and authority, and every answer sounded elegant, even when she was talking about serious parts of her life. What made her so memorable was how composed she always looked, while still letting her personality come through in small smiles, reactions, and expressions.
Since I was born, I always wear with me something red because it brings me luck.
You said every day of your life, something
Every day of my life.
you wear red, whether it is seen or unseen, you wear something red.
Yeah.
So I figured maybe if you forgot, I would bring you a little something. Now you see you did it, right?
That's for you.
No, come on now.
That's for you.
Really?
Yes.
Is this good stuff in here? Oh, salt. Oh.
The accent, the confidence, and that old-world movie star quality made the interview feel larger than a normal guest appearance. She stood out because she never seemed to seek attention. She naturally drew it. Her stories about Italian cinema fascinated American viewers, and Carson often spent more time listening than speaking during her interviews. Her laugh filled the room and made the whole set feel more relaxed. She treated Carson like an equal rather than someone simply admiring her. Ann-Margret, the electric presence.
How are you? How have you been?
I feel great.
You remember the first time we met and worked together? I do. I don't know if you remember it or not.
The inauguration.
Absolutely.
Yes,
It was
for
the
President
inauguration
Johnson.
of President Johnson.
Yes.
Down there, I guess, at the Armory that night, and you did a recitation or something. You read something, I remember.
I was one of the MCs. There were 4 MCs.
Right. How long ago was that?
That was
Would be?
1964, I think. 65.
Was that 1960?
3?
She never just sat there and answered questions. From the moment she appeared, it felt like a performance. Her appeal came from that mix of beauty and energy because she could be glamorous, while still feeling playful, fearless, and completely alive in front of a crowd. That performer's confidence made her even more captivating because it all looked so natural on live television. People remember her because she brought a variety show energy into a format that usually stayed much calmer. Her dance numbers on Carson became some of the show's most memorable moments. She sang live with a band and turned the segment into entertainment, rather than just conversation. Carson often stepped aside and let her take over completely. Her energy never faded, which kept every second interesting. The outfits she wore could make the desk feel like part of the stage, and the audience reacted to her more like a concert crowd than a talk show audience. Even Carson's band seemed to work harder when she was there. She treated every appearance like it was opening night. Her smile filled the room and always looked great on camera. Carson reportedly told producers that booking Ann-Margret usually meant stronger ratings. She blended old-school Vegas glamour with modern 1970s energy, and her confidence made most other guests seem far more reserved. Carson liked having her on because she brought her own momentum and made his job easy. Their chemistry worked because both knew exactly how to work an audience. She never treated the show casually and always approached it like it mattered. Her appearances showed that beauty and talent together could create unforgettable television. Carson later said she was one of his favorite guests of all time. Some of the most replayed moments in Tonight Show history came from her appearances because she understood that talk shows could be part interview, part performance. Carson trusted her because she always delivered. Elizabeth Taylor, the timeless legend.
I cannot think offhand of another international personality who has sparked the intense public fascination as my first guest, and it's a great pleasure to have her here. Would you welcome Miss Elizabeth Taylor?
The moment she sat down, the interview immediately felt bigger than a normal guest appearance because her star power dominated the room. Carson reportedly told his staff that Taylor brought the feeling of old Hollywood history onto his modern set, and he treated her with obvious admiration. What made her so memorable was the way she balanced confidence with vulnerability. She could speak openly while still carrying herself with complete glamour and composure throughout the segment. Carson's visible respect only made her presence feel even more iconic. Lynda Carter, the heroic charm. Her fame from Wonder Woman gave her an immediate, larger-than-life presence, but she carried it with calm confidence rather than trying to play into the hype. Her appearance was striking, but what really made her stand out was how relaxed and approachable she seemed. She never acted overly serious about the image people had of her. On camera, she looked like a superhero stepping into an ordinary conversation, and that contrast made her even more interesting. That balance of star power and friendliness is why her Carson appearances remain so memorable. Her beauty was obvious, but audiences were often surprised by how down-to-earth she seemed. She could joke about the Wonder Woman costume and make herself feel relatable. Carson brought up the role without making the conversation awkward or repetitive, and she handled the attention with ease. Her voice had a warmth that made viewers trust her immediately. She also talked about her singing career, reminding people she had more to offer than one famous role. Carson respected her enough to move beyond the superhero image and explore other sides of her personality. Her looks never seemed to intimidate him. If anything, they made him more animated. She laughed at his jokes, which made the chemistry between them feel natural. The Wonder Woman costume became something they could both joke about. Carter showed that a beautiful woman could also be funny, intelligent, and completely self-aware. Her intelligence came through in every answer, making her far more than just a pretty face. Carson seemed especially comfortable with her, and their conversations always flowed easily. She represented a newer kind of female star, someone who could be strong and glamorous at the same time. Her appearances helped change the way people thought about leading women in Hollywood. Audiences connected with her because she still felt accessible despite all the fame. She never relied only on her looks, always bringing personality and substance with her. Carson kept inviting her back because she represented a more modern version of Hollywood stardom. Her segments blended glamour with real conversation in a way that felt effortless. She also helped change the image of female action stars, proving that beauty and strength could exist together without one taking away from the other. Farrah Fawcett, the nation's crush. She had that instant America's sweetheart quality because she was bright, warm, and incredibly photogenic in a way that stood out the moment she appeared on camera. Part of her appeal was that she seemed glamorous without ever losing that upbeat, approachable energy, which made every interview feel lighter and more driven by her personality. People remember her because her look became a symbol of the era, and on Carson, her warmth matched that image perfectly. Together, it created a kind of effortless television charisma. Her feathered hairstyle became one of the most copied looks in the country. She laughed easily, which made Carson seem more relaxed, and made the whole conversation feel natural. Her Charlie's Angels fame meant audiences were already excited to see her before she even spoke. Farrah's Texas accent added to her charm and made her feel even more relatable. Carson clearly had a soft spot for her and treated her with visible affection. She talked about her sudden rise to fame with humility and never came across as spoiled or self-important. Her smile was so bright it seemed to change the entire atmosphere of the studio. Carson's tone was gentler with her than with most guests. She represented the idea of the girl next door becoming a huge star. Her beauty was obvious, but it was her sweetness that made people connect with her so strongly. Audiences felt protective of her because she seemed vulnerable in a genuine way. Carson often came across more like a supportive older friend during her interviews. She wore glamorous outfits that highlighted her beauty without making it feel forced. Her laugh was contagious and seemed to lift the energy of everyone around her. Carson reportedly told his staff that Farrah appearances were always guaranteed successes. She embodied everything people in the 1970s found appealing. She also never took herself too seriously, which only made her more likable. Carson's interviews with her felt more like conversations than formal interviews. She even spoke openly about her relationship with Ryan O'Neal. Her honesty made audiences feel like they really knew her. Carson respected her enough not to push the conversation into uncomfortable territory. Farrah showed that enormous fame and genuine kindness could exist together. Her Tonight Show appearances remain some of the most remembered and replayed clips from the show. Carson later said that Farrah represented the very best side of Hollywood. Honorable mention, Audrey Hepburn, the graceful icon. She appeared with a quiet elegance that immediately changed the mood of the set, and even Carson seemed slightly more nervous than usual around her. Johnny later told his staff that Hepburn carried herself with such natural poise that his late-night stage suddenly felt more like a close-up in a classic film. Her soft voice never needed volume to command attention because her presence alone did that. The interview stood out because Carson himself looked a little starstruck in her presence. Just by sitting there, she made the usual late-night atmosphere feel more refined and sophisticated. These women created some of the most unforgettable moments in Tonight Show history and helped define the glamour of the era. Without guests like them, Johnny Carson's show would not have had the same sense of Hollywood magic that made it so iconic. Which guest do you think was the most beautiful to ever appear on Johnny Carson? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.